Welcome to today's explainer. Hey, if you're a sales executive out there and you're feeling the heat of that quota pressure, or maybe you're currently staring down a massive slump and looking for a clear, actionable way out, well, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're going to get your numbers back on track and totally recharge your approach to the market. So grab your notepads and get a fresh cup of coffee because we are diving deep into the ultimate strategies for sales success. Okay, let's dive into this. It's time for a little tough love, folks. When numbers are down, when those sure thing deals suddenly stall out and your commission checks start shrinking, it's incredibly natural to look for a scapegoat. And what's the absolute most common target? The territory. We hear it literally all the time. My market's oversaturated, or man, these leads are just bad, or the competition here is completely unfair. But I want you to ask yourself honestly right now, is the territory actually the problem, or is it just an easy excuse? Well, to answer that, we're leaning on some serious expertise today. The strategies we're unpacking come directly from Andy Schaeferfelder of SalesHelp911.com. Andy is a retired sales executive and manager with a staggering 25 years of experience in the trenches. Over his career, he has personally generated over $10 million in business. $10 million. So when Andy tells us how to break out of a slump, we absolutely listen. The guy knows exactly what it takes to turn a failing territory into an absolute goldmine. Let's move to and see how this builds. Here's our roadmap for today's training to shift from making excuses to executing at the very highest level. We're going to cover the territory blame game, reframing for hidden opportunities, optimizing process and activity, building trust in relationships, maintaining a winning mindset, and finally, take ownership to win. Let's kick things off right now with Module 1, the territory blame game, and why exactly we point fingers when our numbers drop. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast between two very different ways of operating. First, we have the victim mentality. This is where you're blaming oversaturation, pointing fingers at bad leads, or stressing over the competition. Look, this mindset is entirely self-sabotaging. It completely stalls your growth and prevents improvement because you're hyper-focused on external factors. But on the flip side, we have the growth mindset. This is the true hallmark of sales mastery. It means focusing on your execution, your strategy, and what you can actually control. Because the truth? The territory is rarely the true issue. It's almost always a matter of mindset and strategy. And that brings us right into Module 2, reframe for hidden opportunities, finding potential in a quote-unquote bad market. Andy outlines 3 incredibly actionable steps to uncover this hidden market potential. Number 1, look at top performers in similar territories. What exactly are they doing differently than you? Because success leaves clues, people. Number 2, identify underserved customer segments. Where's the gap in your specific market that everyone else is just ignoring? And number 3, study the trends and the data. The numbers will reveal hidden opportunities if you just take the time to actually analyze them. When you stop seeing your territory as a list of problems and start seeing it as a landscape of possibilities, you're going to approach your calls with a completely renewed, totally unstoppable sense of purpose. Moving right along to Module 3, optimize process and activity, where we tighten up the fundamentals and start working smarter. So the crucial point is that a slump is very, very often tied to weak execution. This checklist is your ultimate self-audit. You need to ask yourself these hard questions. Am I actually qualifying leads effectively, or am I just chasing anything with a pulse? Am I following up consistently, or am I letting warm prospects go ice cold? Am I addressing real customer pain points and providing actual value? You've got to audit your entire sales process to identify where the leaks are. Fine-tune that pitch, refine that follow-up strategy, because a stronger, tighter process is going to lead to better results, absolutely regardless of what territory you're in. And process goes hand in hand with volume. Look, a lack of activity directly leads to a lack of sales. If you're in a slump, you must ramp up your efforts. The math here is incredibly simple. Low activity equals a slump. But high activity, meaning more calls, more emails, more meetings, mathematically equals more opportunities. Work smarter and harder. Leverage your CRM tools, use automation to streamline your outreach, and set rigid daily and weekly goals to hold yourself accountable. The more conversations you force into existence, the faster you're going to break right through that slow period. Next up, Module 4, build trust and relationships, become a trusted advisor. Andy's data shows us that you really need to elevate yourself from just being a vendor to becoming a trusted advisor. So how do you actually do that? First, you offer value before you ever ask for the sale. Share valuable industry insights, give them strategic advice, send them genuinely helpful resources. Second, don't forget your current roster. Follow up with your existing clients to identify easy upsell opportunities, or simply ask for referrals. And finally, network aggressively within your industry to expand your reach. Customers ultimately want to buy from people they trust. Deepen those connections, and I promise you, you will see your close rate absolutely skyrocket. All right, Module 5. Maintain a winning mindset, because positivity fuels action. And this brilliantly illustrates our 3 pillars for building a daily action plan to combat that draining slump. We all know a sales slump is incredibly draining mentally, right? But letting that negativity creep in will only accelerate the downward spiral. Action 1, surround yourself. You need to actively seek out positive mentors, peers, and leaders who inspire you. Cut out that water cooler complaining. Action 2, keep learning. Fill your brain with good inputs. Listen to sales explainers just like this one, read the books, attend the training sessions. Action 3, build momentum. Set very small, highly achievable daily goals. Hitting those tiny targets builds the exact momentum that fuels larger actions and much bigger results. Remember, the most successful salespeople don't dwell on obstacles. They relentlessly find ways to overcome them. And that brings us to our final module, number 6. Take ownership to win. Stop the excuses and execute. I want you to listen to this quote from Andy Schaefer-Felder and just let it really sink in for a second. Your sales territory isn't the problem, your approach to it might be. This right here is the absolute core takeaway of everything we've talked about today. Stop blaming external factors. Reframe your mindset, refine your process, double your activity, and build genuine relationships. Because when you focus purely 100% on the elements that you can actually control, I guarantee you the success is going to follow. I'm leaving you with this provocative final thought today, because the truth is, no matter the territory, no matter the market conditions, the top sales professionals always find a way to win. The tools are in your hands now. The strategy is crystal clear. So the only question left for you is, will you? Get out there, take ownership, and go crush those quotas.